si Ambassador to India, Ambassador Ramon Bagatsing Jr. Magandang araw po sa inyo, sir, mula dito sa Pilipinas.
Magandang umaga, Secretary Andanal. Magandang umaga, Undersecretary Ignacio. At magandang pagkakataon po mapaliwanag sa ating mga kababayan ngayon ang sitwasyon dito sa India. Ngunit maswerte tayo in the sense na hindi naman ganun karami ang mga OFW. As a matter of fact, India is number one in the Middle East in terms of labor providers. Kakompetensya natin ng India sa bagay na yan. At dito naman ay mga na-stranded dito ay yung mga seafarers, no? And they're mostly in Mumbai and they're mostly working in the cruise ships. So we're very fortunate in that sense na compared to the Middle East and in some Southeast Asian countries that we don't have that much OFWs here. And the few that are here are in the construction, high-tech companies, and they're doing very well. So it's not really much of a concern for us. Most of them are secure and safe. They have been getting in touch with us. They have been communicating with us, and they have been telling us that they are okay, and that none of them or very few of them are really interested in going home right now. But we're also very lucky that I think about 2 weeks ago we were able to ferry at least 70 seafarers who work for the different cruise lines from Mumbai. And nandiyan na sila sa atin sa Pilipinas ngayon. At swerte rin tayo sa kasalukuyan dahil nakapag-uwi na tayo ng mga mahigit 160 na mga kababayan natin. At meron pa siguro mga 100 na stranded dito. And just a few seafarers. Kaya I really understand the situation of those who are from the Middle East and Southeast Asia. But natin sa India, malaking bagay na tumutulong ang Philippine community. Most of them are married to Indian men. And they're very secure, they're very stable here, and they're helping a lot, taking care of those that have been stranded. Ang issue natin ito are the stranded and the students and some missionaries that are here. Dahil kukunti ang mga flights papuntang Pilipinas, hindi basta-basta na nakakauwi sila. Kaya inaasahan namin na sana matuloy ang programa ng Philippine Airlines na magkaroon ng ferry flights next week. And then of course yung Air India ang ginamit natin na mag-ferry ng mga Filipino passengers, no, for first and second week of May. Phase 3 magkakaroon sila, so mga bandang June 23 sa tulong ng Panginoon magkakaroon tayo ng ferry flights. And of course yung napakiusapan natin si Secretary Lorenzana na dahil meron tayong isang barko na nasa Oman, napakiusapan natin na pag-uwi sa Pilipinas, naman dito sa India, at dito kumuha mga ilan pasahero na mga stranded. At may isang Filipino-American na nag-donate ng 200,000 face mask. Naisakay natin dyan sa Philippine Navy ship, yung Davao del Sur. At saka yung isa pang kanilang barko na Ramon Alcaraz. So we were able to send through those Navy ships 200,000 face masks na sa tulong ni Mr. Dantes ng Philippine Embassy dito. At nakasakay tayo ng ilang mga pasahero, about 19, and then they're going to Sri Lanka to pick up more stranded Filipinos there. And I presume by the middle of next week they will be there in Manila already. So we're very fortunate in that sense na maraming tumutulong, and we hope that by the end of the month at least mabawasan na ito ng mga stranded dito sa atin, and then we can focus also dahil hawak din natin Secretary ang Nepal. I'd like to make mention that those that are in Nepal, there are about a dozen of them. We're taking care of that also, but because lockdown din sa Nepal, wala ring international flights. So they cannot move. And even here in India, they don't have international flights unless it is a chartered flight. Ngayon lang sila nag-umpisa ng mga domestic flights going from one major city to another. So if you have to go to Delhi, travel, or at least now, may domestic flights na. So far so good. At nagpapasalamat kami sa lahat ng tumulong sa amin na ipauwi natin ang ibang mga kababayan natin, Martin.
Ambassador, isa po ang India sa hard hit ng COVID-19 with almost 200,000 COVID-19 positive cases. Ano po ang current situation ngayon dyan po sa India, sa base po sa inyong nakikita?
Well, as you said, there are 200,000 now positive cases and only about 5,600 deaths. No? And they are now under what we call lockdown phase 4. Kasi every 2 weeks, nagka-lockdown 1 sila, then they improve. If the situation improves, they ease some of the lockdown measures. So now at this stage, dati essential services lang, hospital lang. Ngayon, they've opened up some stores, na standalone stores. They are now allowing mobility of people. May mga tawag dito, mga tricycle nila na pwede nang sa kalsada. They eased up the curfews. Dati alas 7 ng gabi curfew na. Ngayon ginawa nila alas 9 hanggang alas 5. And then pinapayagan nila kasi ang problema dito, maraming mga migrants na sinasabi. Nagtatrabaho sa big cities pero nakatira sa mga probinsya. Ito yung nakikita mo sa TV ngayon ng mga stranded dahil walang paraan makauwi sa probinsya. So ngayon, bigyan nila ng maraming sasakyan, mga bus, mga trains, para makasakay ito, mga trabado na ito, makauwi sa probinsya. And this is the reason probably why there is now a spike, no? Tumataas na naman. In some states, there are at least 28 states dito. So may mga ibang na kontrolado nila ang COVID. Pero may mga ibang states, kasi for example, Uttar Pradesh, ang citizens yan, ang resident, 200 milyon, mas marami pa sa Pilipinas, isang probinsya lang. So sa dami ng tao, tumataas talaga ang incidence ng COVID. Sa Maharashtra, ang population ng Maharashtra ay parang population ng Pilipinas. There are about 100 plus million people. So, ang Mumbai nandyan. High density yung lugar na yan. So, tumataas na naman. For example, in Maharashtra around, ang COVID incidence yan is 70,000. Kumpara sa atin, ilan lang tayo. Just imagine. So, because of that, we have to be really extra careful. Although, nag-i-ease na nga dito, sumusunod naman ng mga tao, may disiplina naman ng mga tao dito. But just because of sheer volume and the sheer density, hindi maiiwasan na there are some states na tumataas. So, ang mga Pilipino naman hindi naman talaga lumalabas, hindi palaikot, hindi at sumusunod sa mga patakaran na inuutos ng pamahalaan. So, we don't have any Filipino here ay nagkaroon ng COVID-19. So, swerte tayo dyan. At iingat sila. But right now, as I said, hopefully, the lockdown will be eased. There will be international flights. There will be more movements. There will be more facilities that will be open. Kasi ang mga malls dito, sarado pa. Pero bubuksan nila yan, yung mga nasa labas lang. O kaya alternate. Bukas ka ngayon, sarado ka bukas. Tapos ang mga sasakyan, mga limited buses din. No? So basically, the same things as what is happening there in the Philippines. Well, the restrictions will be lifted quite soon also.
Opo. Ambassador, currently po nagluwag nga ng restriction sa India except po dun sa 13 cities na itinuturing po bilang containment zone dahil dito daw nagmumula yung karamihan sa nagpositibong kaso sa India sa COVID-19. May reports po ba tayo mula dito sa mga lungsod na to, yung kalagayan po ng ating mga Filipino community doon?
You know, we're very lucky, Secretary. No? As I said, we only have about 3,000 Filipinos, and 80% of them are housewives or married to Indians, or what we call the Middle East Romans. So, so far we have no reports of any Filipino or Filipina having been afflicted with this virus. And on the other hand, they have been the ones helping us a lot. Dahil kung may mga Filipino na stranded halimbawa sa Mumbai, sa Bangalore, sa Calcutta, sa Chennai, and some other places, sa Kochi, ang mga Filipino community tumutulong. Sila nag-aalalay, sila nagbabahay, sila ang nagbibigay ng tulong, pagkain, lahat sa mga stranded na Filipino community. Of course, with the guidance and assist the embassy, of the staff here in the embassy. So in that sense, we're very, very fortunate. And they have been very, very supportive of the embassy and of the Filipinos that are stranded here in India.
Opo, Ambassador, bagamat tumutulong nga yung ating Filipino community dyan, pero may mga sinasabi ba silang problema o kadalasan nagiging problema ng ating Filipino community na sa India na kinakailangan naman pong tugunan ng ating embahada?
Most of hindi naman mabibigat ang mga problema dyan. Kadalasan dyan is basically passport renewals, passport extensions, and then once in a while, we will have some domestic issues. Yung mga mag-asawa, hindi na magkasundo, nag-aaway. Pupunta dito yung Pilipina na hindi niya kasundo yung asawa niya. So yun ang mga kailangan na sikasuhin namin. And then sometimes repatriation na gusto nang umuwi. Ayun, tinutulungan din namin yon. And then, magandang balita din dito sa atin ngayon, yung mga liver transplant patients. Marami mga bata dyan sa atin na kinakailangan ng liver transplant. No? So, there are more than 50 cases now na pumupunta dito sa India para magpagamot dahil mas eksperyensado ang mga doktor dito. Hindi naman sa hindi magagaling ang mga doktor natin. No? Magagaling din ang mga Pilipino doktor. But they have more experience and more facilities here. So these liver transplant patients, the children come here for that operation and we're taking care of them. And so far, at least maganda, 75 to 80% ang success story. But insofar as the local Filipino community here, no major problem. No major problem at all. And as a matter of fact, as I said, they have been helping the embassy in so many ways and in so many things. No? I'm very fortunate with that compared to other posts na hindi ganun kabigat. Walang problema dito ang Filipino community sa India.
Nabanggit niyo po kanina na nakabalik na sa kanilang mga trabaho ang karamihan ng mga manggagawa doon. How about the few Filipino workers in India? Hindi po ba sila nagkakaproblema sa kanilang hanap buhay?
Most of the Filipinos stranded here, Secretary, are stranded tourists, students, and my yoga, enthusiasts. So they are not here as workers. Bibihira dito ang worker, no? Yung mga OFWs dito are under contract and they're in the provinces and they're all taken care of. They're all being handled well. Their contracts are okay. So we don't have any problems with them. Yung mga seafarers na alam ba, they work in the cruise lines or they work in several ships. Stranded yung barko nila sa Mumbai. Yan ang ating inaasikaso ngayon. And so far, we have been able to bring home mga 70. So there's just a few, siguro mga 10 or 15 na stranded sa Mumbai ngayon. At we have been communicating with them and we hope that if PAL will have the flight by, in the next 10 days, then these Filipinos will be on board. Other than that, wala. Siguro mabibilang mo ang mga Pilipino na nagtatrabaho dito, not more than 40. Yung, one of the, food companies, nagtayo ng kumpanya dito, ayan, pero they're doing very well. And then there's another construction company, Filipino company in Chennai with a contract. They're doing very well. So, thank God we don't have issues with OFWs here in India.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong panahon, Ambassador Ramon Bagatsing Jr. mula sa New Delhi, India. Mabuhay po kayo, Ambassador.
Maraming salamat, Secretary and Undersecretary Ignacio. Maraming salamat sa pagkakataon na ito.